So let's then apply our discussion so far, the 7 Cs, or I've lost count, whatever the concepts we have put up, versus or against the backdrop of the roles that you've held. So share with us sort of your unique leadership challenges that you had, or the unique contexts that you faced when you were leading Pepsi, when you were leading Nokia, and when you were, part of the leadership team and leading businesses within the Aditya Birla Group. How then, so make this discussion about context shaping what a leader does real by perhaps using your life example.
So if you take something like Nokia was a relatively small company when I joined it. We had a big dream to say we want to be a $4 billion corporation. Okay, we became a $4 billion corporation in India. We are India's largest MNC. The context was rapid growth. Mm-hmm. Now, when you have rapid growth in front of you, you don't look to cross the I's and the T's and do everything in a proper plan. If something is 80% ready, go with it. Mm-hmm. That's it. Next, in terms of capability, the context, we were a $1 billion company. We are looking at $4 billion. We went to the market and hired people who had run $1.5 and $2 billion corporations. We told them, look, we want to be the largest in the country. Would you want to come on this journey? And people came on this journey. The simple thing being, if you're a $1 billion company dreaming of a $4 billion, dream, if you pick $200 and $300 million CEOs, they will not have that thing. So context means you have to expand their thing to say, okay, I can take it there. Okay. Now the Nokia context also was, and taught me a lot, ecosystem. We could not do anything without the operator. So we had to partner effectively with Idea, Vodafone, all these people. Without them, we are nothing. Mm-hmm. So the context of, there was low penetration, physical infrastructure was bad, mobile telephony was going to catch on, there were 90 million subscribers, no fixed lines. So we knew that the headroom for growth was there. So you have to be very quick and agile and accept mistakes in your way. So much so that around the context, we were so arrogant. Okay, I can say this now. Not arrogant, but okay.
Confident is a better word.
Okay. We used to have month-on-month growth, not quarter growth, not against last year.
Yeah.
Now, when your headroom for growth...
Ambitious, I think that's the word you're looking for. Yes.
Okay. So we would say, okay, you're in October. How are we doing against September? Mm-hmm. Now, there are very few industries who will actually have the guts to do that. Mm-hmm. Okay. So the context was very, very different. The PepsiCo context was very different because for 22, 23 years, we had not been profitable. Okay. So the clear brief was to make it profitable. Now, what happens in any organization, Varun, is that there is the organization ideals and there's the organization social norms. Mm-hmm. Okay. So the ideal was we need to have a healthier portfolio. We need to have a profitable portfolio. Now, when you have eyeball to eyeball competition, everybody in sales comes and says, the competitor is doing something, I need to put 10 rupees more at the table. So, your profitability keeps going down. So, to reorient the team to say, hey, there is pride in profit. Mm-hmm. Being unprofitable is not something that we should be proud of. New York will not cut checks for a long time. So, we had to reorient the whole system. The context was profitable growth. Okay.
Hyper growth versus profitable growth.
Absolutely. No, unprofitable growth versus profitable growth.
No, I was thinking in the Nokia hyper growth.
Hyper growth.
Versus, profitable growth.
Absolutely.
Transitioning from unprofitable growth.
Since you mentioned it, the other thing about Nokia was you are in an industry which is price erosion industry. Prices keep dropping. So your cost structure has to keep dropping in line with your price. So we used to do what's called box budgeting. So we'd say, if my business is going to be $2 billion, my margin is going to be 30, that's $600 million profit. Okay, total contribution margin. What can I afford? We used to call that box budgeting. Correct. Okay, but in PepsiCo, there was no box budgeting. Okay, everything was just keep giving money as long as the end results were met.
Right.
So in a sense, we are selling empty volume of water and things, etc. So to get the discipline into that context was a very different challenge. Okay, finally, we made it profitable and they've stayed like that so far. So which is very good. Next, when you come to a conglomerate like Aditya Birla Group, now where is the future headed? One of the things we see in India is value creation, market cap. Mm-hmm. We saw that the market cap was actually in consumer-led industries. It was not led in industrials. Mm-hmm. So we did a number of projects. We sieved 20, 30 industries to see where can we enter, where the AVG group had a trusted brand name, where there was scale, and decent profitability, and we could be a top 3 player. Simple. That was the context. And we identified paints as a big opportunity, which has been done. We identified jewelry as a big opportunity, which has been done. We identified 2 other things, which may happen, may not happen, etc. So the context was to pivot the group into much more value accretive, value adding, consumer facing businesses. So that's how you think of context. And the way I would recommend to your viewers is, you are given what you're given as a business, as a brand, as a territory, etc. Ask yourself, how can I reshape this? How can I reshape this to a future world, not to today's world? Most managers, what they tend to do is, they take something and build efficiency into it. But that efficiency will not lead to effectiveness in a future world.
Right.
There's only so much that the efficiency will take you.